All right, today we're diving into a 3,000-year-old poem that, trust me, reads less like ancient scripture and a lot more like the script for a huge action movie. It is this raw, powerful story of rescue, revenge, and ultimately total victory.
And right from the very first line, we get hit with this really intense personal declaration. This isn't some formal hymn being recited from a distance. Nope. It's an emotional cry straight from the heart, and it totally sets the tone for everything that's about to unfold.
And here it is. This is the central metaphor that anchors the entire story, the rock. I mean, this single image, it just screams absolute strength, safety, and unwavering stability. You're going to want to hold on to this idea, because we're about to see exactly what it means to have a rock when your whole world is completely collapsing. So, who's actually telling this story? Well, the text says it's King David. And get this, it's on the very day he was delivered from all his enemies. This actually fits into a whole category we call royal psalms, songs that are either by a king or for a king, celebrating their special connection to God. So yeah, the stakes could not be higher. This is a story told from the finish line of a life or death race. And that's the key thing to remember here. We have to look at this not as some abstract piece of poetry, but as a gripping first-person testimony. It has a super clear story arc. You've got a desperate beginning, a chaotic middle, and a triumphant end. We're literally about to hear from the survivor. Okay, so let's go right to the start of that story. Our narrator is in a state of absolute crisis. And I don't mean just a bad day. This is complete and total helplessness. Wow, what a powerful image, right? You can almost feel the claustrophobia. It's not just the threat of death, it's this sense of being physically tied up, dragged down by it with absolutely nowhere to go. And if being all tangled up wasn't bad enough, now you've got this image of a flood. I mean, this isn't a force you can fight, it's something that just completely overwhelms you. It paints this picture of being utterly powerless against some massive, destructive wave. So, our guy is entangled, he's overwhelmed, and just in case there was any tiny glimmer of hope left, nope, every path forward leads to a trap. It's a vision of a perfectly hopeless situation. There is, quite literally, no way out. And this question, this is the pivot point for the entire story. When you are bound, you're drowning, you're trapped, what's your last move? For the writer here, there is only one thing left to do: cry out for help. And now, the tone just shifts dramatically. The cry is heard, and the response is not gentle. It's not subtle. It's this loud, earth-shattering arrival that pulls from all this powerful imagery you see across the ancient Near East, the divine warrior. This is not a quiet helper. This is a cosmic action hero storming onto the scene. Just look at how this imagery builds up. It starts at ground level, right? The earth quakes in anger. Then it moves up to the sky, which is literally torn open for this figure who's soaring on the wind. Then comes the storm of vengeance, a barrage of thunder and arrows scattering all the enemies. And the finale? The intervention is so powerful it peels back the very skin of the world, revealing its foundations. This is a cosmic-level rescue operation for sure. And after all that cosmic chaos, the action becomes intensely personal. This one verse just boils it all down. The same power that shook the mountains and parted the seas reached down and pulled one person from the flood. It's this brilliant shift from universe-altering power to individual salvation. But hey, being rescued wasn't the end of the story. The rescue itself sparked this complete transformation, a total reversal of fortune. He goes from a state of total weakness to one of just overwhelming strength. I mean, this comparison says it all. On the left, you see the narrator as a total victim, attacked at his weakest moment. But on the right, now empowered by this rescue, he's the one on the attack, so powerful that his enemies can't even stand up. It's a complete 180-degree turn from prey to predator. And this new status, it's cemented with a whole new set of skills. The narrator is given superhuman strength, agility, military prowess. And notice this, he's also given political authority. He becomes a ruler over nations. So this wasn't just about saving his life, it was about elevating his entire existence. So now we can finally come back, full circle, to that central image from the very beginning. After seeing this whole story play out, what does it really mean to call God my rock? Okay, so here's the crucial point. The rock isn't just a passive place you go to be safe. It's an active, world-shaking force. It's the stable foundation you can cling to when you're drowning, sure, but it's also the source of the power that crushes armies. It is both a fortress and a weapon. And that understanding leads to this, the emotional climax of the entire poem. It's a triumphant shout of praise, a final declaration that the source of this incredible victory is alive and absolutely worthy of being exalted. The story has found its resolution.
But then we get this fascinating final line. The psalm ends by extending this promise of rescue and victory, not just to David, but to all his descendants, forever. This suddenly zooms way out from one man's personal story to an eternal promise.
And that leaves us with a final, kind of provocative thought. How does one person's story of survival, written 3,000 years ago, transform into a timeless text that keeps offering a promise of strength and deliverance to countless people today? That transition, from personal testimony to eternal promise, that might be the most powerful story of all.